we'll talk about how China has kind of buffered itself, not completely from this, but how they've kind of improved that. And we're going to get into that about the rail system and the Belt Road in a moment here. Now, when I say life-changing, these are life-changing in many factors. Used cars are going through the roof, skyrocketing. Why is that happening? Logistical problems. You can't get chips for the cars because it's all about logistics. And that's why we're reading in the side of these quotes here. We're talking, Hang is obviously, a lot about this, but let's focus in on this new railway link that was put into operation just recently. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but from Laos, this logistical railway that's been put in there. Do you know much about this?
Just look, enough. I mean, I'm very familiar with China and the fact that China has done what they have created. Governance here has built and created a society for the people to be able to live in a good society without the need to be filthy rich. You can't get ahead in life if you need a $400 a month car payment just to be able to get a job. Right. So they put in this amazing public transportation system, the subway systems in all the major cities, in Shanghai. Shenyang here now has 4 lines, and cities like Shanghai, Beijing have like over 10 lines. And in addition to the subway system, the modern subway system, they put in the rail lines, right, for transportation. And they're inexpensive, the high-speed rails, the Chinese word, right, Alex, the Gautiers.
Yep.
And in addition to that, and I'd done some work in the past for the big logistics company, the French one, the French logistics company. Oh my gosh, the biggest one in the world.
There's lots of them out there. DHL German.
Yeah, and the French one.
I know where you're going with it.
Anyway, so besides transportation, this is the point. Going to what you're saying here. Besides transportation for the public, for the people, to be able to get from one city to another in an hour and a half and be able to do that for $5. Wow, that's for the people. Okay. Now, the backbone of an economy, like in the United States, is trucking. Okay, so that's the backbone. That's the veins in the blood of the economy. Getting goods around in the United States is trucking. But internationally and here in China, a big part of it is the build out of the rail system, not only for the public, as I just said, quality, low cost, effective, fast transportation, but also for logistics and supply. Along that line, in this last year, we've had it, as you mentioned, the very famous rail line, which Alex, correct me, from Kunming all the way down through, and finally, there it is, all the way down through into Laos. Amazing.
Beautiful one too.
Not to mention the other rail lines going all the way, carrying cargo now, millions of, they're at, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of tons, or if they've hit 1 million tons yet, of cargo lines going across the BRI, okay, from China by rail, getting the goods all the way into Eurasia, and then and as you just said, the one going down into Laos. This is supply chain. This is a miracle.
Another aspect that we need to now get to is we did a video about 4 months ago on inflation on food. I'm not noticing it too much here in China, but I am really, really, really starting to see, numbers. We're seeing natural gas prices, logistics. Can you imagine this, Mario? Logistics. China has been pumping trillions of dollars into this for the last couple of decades. Well, except you can just say almost 40,000 kilometers of high-speed railway is one of them. But the logistical part of this country and how it's set it up, I mean, internally, I feel things are pretty good and pretty managed here. But outside these borders, I'm starting to see some numbers that are staggering. $6 a gallon for gas in the United States. And then we do have we won't get into it too much, but we have some geopolitical issues and some standoffs in Europe, which are not doing any good for those economies over there. And that is a trade that I want people to understand. You don't see the end of this, we'll call it chain, until it breaks. And I'm going to get into what I mean is a lot of these shops that you've been buying products, let's say you're gearing up for the summer and you're in the United States and you're buying some lawn chairs and you're buying some new barbecues, that's all fine. But now we're seeing homeowners that are buying new houses have to wait 6 months for refrigerators in the United States, 3 or 4
Right.
months for washer and dryer units in the United States. These
Yes.
take time, guys. They go on cargo. They're not made in the US. They're not made in Canada. They're not made in Europe. They're made in
And
China.